Good morning, this is Wayne Blau with another Smart Profit Maximizing Moment. Today we're going to finalize the three-part series that I've done this week on mistakes business owners make that cost them tons of profit. And in some cases lead to their business failing altogether. Or at a minimum, sometimes just failing to reach their potential, which is totally possible. We're going to talk about money mistakes. In the first one, we talked about marketing mistakes. Then we talked about management mistakes. I'm going to talk about money mistakes. Look, business is really all about people. We know that. Selling to prospects, creating support networks, motivating employees is vital to your success. This is the work most business owners enjoy and concentrate on. They figure they can just turn money matters over to their bookkeeper or their CPA and forget about it. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. Business is a numbers game. That's how we keep score, okay? Business owners must become at least reasonably proficient in order to gain massive profits. I can tell you truthfully, I'm amazed at how some businesses survive when the first time they find out whether they made money in 2019 is when I do their tax return that they didn't get to me till September of this year. How do you run a business like that? And the truth of the matter is, I look at their business and yeah, they're surviving. They're doing all right, but they could do so much better because they're making a number of these mistakes. I'm going to go through these pretty fast. I'm going to post the actual article so you can read it if something catches your attention. It'll be on my blog, which is at wjb-cpa.com. If you look in the tabs up across the top left, second one from the left says blog. Click there. You'll find it. Sign up for it so you'll get there. But that's I usually put the video in. If I have any articles that go with it, I put it there too. Anyways, let's talk about the first one. Not reviewing your numbers at least monthly. Like I said, I'm truly amazed at the number of business owners that don't really know what their profit is until I do their tax return at the end of the year. There's literally nothing more important to your success than understanding your critical success numbers and reviewing them regularly. At a bare minimum, it's important to know how much you have in the bank, what your sales are, what products are selling, who's buying, how much you owe, and your profit margin. A regular review allows you to adjust and correct before small problems become big headaches. I can't tell you the number of times I've sat with a business owner going over a quarterly financial statement. Good financial statements ask questions, not necessarily answer questions. And we've noticed a trend, and they dig into it and find something and solve it before it becomes a big one. Second thing I've seen all the time and been guilty of myself is undercharging for services or product. I made that mistake too, more than ever. Very few customers buy solely on price. That's something we got to get out of our head. Unless it's something that they can actually, compare. Price is a factor, but it's not one of the top 5 factors even. The ones who do, you probably don't want as a customer anyways, the ones that only care about price. If you've done a good job marketing your unique selling position, we talked about 2 days ago or 3 days ago, you should have no trouble increasing your prices. For many businesses, this is the difference between barely surviving and raking in massive profits. Now, I went over that really simplistic. I cover this more. I'll cover it more in the future. There's a correct way to raise prices. There's a correct way to allow yourself the position to raise prices. Even if you're in a heavily competitive market, there's ways to do that. All right, we'll talk about that more. Third money mistake I see almost every business do, concentrating on sales. Too many businesses believe that the more sales they make, the more money they'll make. It's not always true. Matter of fact, seldom true, okay? In fact, I've seen many businesses grow their way right in, grow their sales and their business right into bankruptcy. Sales are important, but at the end of the day, bottom line is all that counts. You have to concentrate on increasing your profits. A third mistake, not knowing your true product costs. Most businesses know their product costs, but few really know their ABCs. What's that? Activity-based costing. It's the total cost of preparing a proposal or a bid, getting the sale, delivering the product or service, collecting the receivable, and completing any required warranty or follow-up work. I've worked with many clients who never even knew they were losing money on a sale. Some were ignoring extremely profitable product lines and not even pushing them. Another one, not having a cash budget. Look, cash is king. And put king, capital K, capital I, capital N, capital G. Cash is king. All right? More businesses fail due to cash crunch than due to a lack of customers or profits. A properly prepared cash budget can warn you months in advance of an impending cash crunch. This early warning allows you to plan and look for ways to minimize it. Another area, extending credit too easily. Too many business owners sell on credit without doing a credit check or at least a background check. if you're not, look, bigger companies do this, but if you're not going to do it, at least take a down payment. You know, any new client or any client that's got a larger job than they usually do, I take a down payment. You know, my experience is those who aren't going to pay you later aren't really willing to pay you now. Closely related to this, but on the flip side of the coin, is not selling on credit or making it too difficult to get credit. Once burned, many business owners make it too hard for future customers to obtain credit. This leads to a decrease in sales and missed opportunities. When I was a CFO at a local Coca-Cola bottling company, we gave every new business credit. Many of them couldn't get any credit because they were so new and hadn't established a good history since they were brand new. I mean, of course, we kept a close eye on those businesses and cut them off. We told them we would too. This was not a surprise. We cut them off at the first sign of trouble. But what it did is it led to very loyal customers who never ever considered switching to our competitors because we had given them a chance to prove themselves. Another big area, not staying on top of receivables. There's no real secret to keeping receivables under control. All it takes is regular review of your aging report, staying in contact with your customers who owe you. It is true the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The vendor calls the most, usually gets paid. I go into this a lot. If you look and search my blogs, you'll find a detailed plan on how to, control your receivables before and after the sale. Another area, not taking tax planning seriously. Income tax is like any other expense. When managed properly, it can be controlled and even reduced. Many business owners leave this for their tax preparer, many of whom don't do tax planning at all. I mean, call it your tax preparer in November, December. If they're not swamped, they're not doing tax planning. Okay, that's all there is to it. Every year I work closely with business owners to save them tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the last 4 years alone, I've helped my clients legally save over $5 million. All right, I say legally because I love my clients, but I'm not planning on sharing a jail cell with them. Plus, there's plenty of things we can do. Okay, falling behind on payroll taxes. I'd say this is the biggest reason business owners end up in bankruptcy. It's also one of the few items that owners are personally liable for, even if you have an LLC or a corporation. It'll pass through to you personally. Even if you go bankrupt, you'll still owe it. So if you're not able to pay your payroll taxes, that's a sign of a problem. It's not the problem. All right, so you need to get some help. We're going to do our 90-day profit reset program starting in July, so be prepared. Another one, having only a few customers. Time and time again, I've watched successful businesses fail because their top customer leaves them. When times are good, you should be out there, get the next big customer. There's a process that I teach on how to land the big whale, how to get, if you got one or two very good customers, how to get one or two more. All right. Most business owners don't even think about attracting their next dream customer until they are desperate. Not outsourcing their bookkeeping. I'm a CPA. I don't do my own bookkeeping. Yes, I'm lucky that my wife has an accounting degree and is probably better at it than I am, bookkeeping. But even if I didn't have her, she's probably a better accountant. I'm a better tax person and strategist, but that's about it. I wouldn't do it myself anyways. It's simply a poor use of my time because as a business owner, my time should be spent on increasing profits and sales, all right? We don't even do bookkeeping in our firm. Very limited exceptions that I'm looking at getting away from, okay? Not signing all your checks. Once you hire an assistant or bookkeeper, it's very tempting to let them sign checks for you. Just don't do it. Signing the checks, no matter how large your business is a crucial step towards reducing fraud and excessive spending. I also don't let your bookkeeper reconcile the bank account. You need to open the banks, you need to look at them, and you need to reconcile it. In today's world, you should have an app like I do on my phone. Basically gives me a warning whenever any expenditure goes out over a certain amount. And I look at it, make sure I know what it is. I already covered that one. It was letting your bookkeeper reconcile your bank accounts. Not backing up your computer files. Many businesses have simply gone out of business because their computer systems went down. I highly recommend using an off-site internet-based solution, and my tech guy has done both. I have an external hard drive that backs up every day, and I have an off-site one. All right, so I have both. Using the wrong entity for your business. Meet with your business tax expert soon to ensure that you're running your business correctly. I saw a bad choice one partnership did that's cost them about $45,000 a year in extra income taxes. Assuming they stay in business for 10 years, that's $450,000 that they were sending to the IRS that they would send to the IRS that they could use more productively, I assume. Overspending. Lots of business owners feel they need to have the best of everything. My rule is if it doesn't have a direct effect on the customer's experience, it simply doesn't matter. Get whatever does the job without breaking the bank. Use a budget and plan your spending in advance. Underspending, the opposite side of that coin. Other business owners refuse to spend money on marketing, education, technology, and training. This restricts their growth and they fall behind their competitors because your competitors understand that these are investments, not expenses. They're investments in future growth and success. Finally, a money mistake and kind of a mistake in all three categories that I covered, both marketing, management, and money, is not being a lifetime learner. Our world is changing constantly, and your business needs to change and prosper to grow and prosper. I've been in business since 1991, probably redone my business 4 times now, 4 major changes to adapt to the world. I mean, as simple as that. This has allowed me to keep growing while many of my competitors have stagnated, sold out, gone out of business. All right. I covered a lot in the last 3 episodes. There's a ton there. And there, like I said, there's a ton of information on my websites, on my blog, on my YouTube channel. You can get into any of these if they caught your attention. You want a little bit more organized look at this. I'm going to be doing a course, like I said, a 90-day profit reset. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. We're going to start it in July, close to July 4th, but probably mid-July. Hey, until next time, this is Wayne Belial saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much.